Truckers and friends, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, September 8th at, well, where I'm at, it's 7:48 in the morning, Eastern time. And I just left the rest area where I spent my 10 hours last night, and I'm headed to Buckner, Kentucky to deliver a load of pita chips, because everybody's got to have pita chips. Yummy.
I've come down there twice a week, and yeah, they get backed up pretty good there. It's kind of sad. They let you roll like 55 through there, but ain't nobody figure out that they all need to get over before they get up there. It's the craziest thing I ever seen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they just don't believe it.
I think they don't care. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, that or they're just so damn worried. They just gotta be first. That's what half of it is. People are just so damn worried.
Yeah, me and another guy were talking earlier, yesterday, the day before. I said that, a lot of this isn't that these people are bad truck drivers. It ain't their driving ability as much as just courtesy. Some of them probably never held the door for a woman or nothing. They just lack courtesy. They never taught it. You got to learn that at the age of 4 or 5 years old. You don't get that when you're young. You're going to be an idiot the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. They took the boarding education out of school. That's all our public school system. That's what shapes society.
How old is that man? He sounds like he's about 95.
To school, you'd come up with something that stupid, you'd went down, the principal had a board on the wall, he'd straighten your ass out.
That's right.
That's right. That was the board of education back then.
That's for sure.
I got to meet that board a few times myself.
Me too, drivers. Me too.
Well, really, you go home in the afternoon and they tell you when you come to school tomorrow, you got a paddling coming. First thing you had to go home and think about that all night long.
You get a paddling when you get home too.
I heard you say something, but I didn't pay no damn attention. What was you saying?
What? All the old guys are all out this
I met
morning.
that board there a few times in school.
I hear you.
I always want to chime in when the CV starts going and these guys start talking, but the thing about being a woman out here is there's not very many. There's a lot more than there used to be when I first started driving. But I guess back in the day, I got in the habit of just keeping my mouth shut because you would pass somebody and they all be like, oh, she's the one that was on the CV. That's her. Hey, you can't hide out here. Especially when you're talking on the CV. They all know who it is. So I don't usually chime in. Every once in a while I will, but not very often. So I recalibrated my CB this morning. It seems to be doing a little better. Yesterday when I got to my pickup in Milwaukee, they told me what door to go in, and so their lot was pretty tight and there wasn't much room to turn around, so I had to maneuver and finagle my way to get turned around in the lot before I could even back into the door. And I did. I figured it out. I swooped right in, got myself turned around, opened my doors, moved my tandems, and I backed right into the door. And two of the employees came out, a guy and a girl came out, and they were like, hands down, the best driver we have ever seen here. I was like, what? They said, you did that so smooth. I was like, that wasn't very difficult. They were like, oh, you should see some of the drivers that come in here. You nailed it. I was like, oh, well, thank you. You just made my day. So I was like, that things like that make your day. I mean, as silly as it sounds, it's nice to be recognized once in a while. I take pride in my driving. I think I got a lot of practice because I was a spotter for a while, and I think every driver should have to be a spotter just to learn how to back up. It was nice for them to come out and say that to me. They're like, we just wanted to tell you that. I'm like, that's so nice. Thank you. I can't remember if I got it on video or not, what I did. I don't think I did. And most of the time I forget I need to record stuff. So I apologize. And most of the time that's the good stuff, is this stuff I forget to record because it's just habit for me to go on about my business and not set up the cameras. I'm always trying to think of different content to put in here. I got a whole bunch of ideas, but I don't know how to go about getting it done. I have a little list of skits that I would like to do, and when I was making the list, I was laughing so hard I couldn't stand it. I'm like, I need to get on this right away, but have I done it? No, I have not. It's been a busy few weeks with my son coming into town and all, but if I could ever figure out how to get those done, I don't know, it'll be funny. At least I thought anyway. I was cracking myself up. Nobody else will probably think it was funny, but I was cracking myself up. My youngest son, he does the craziest voices and impressions, and he's really, really good at it. I'm like, I might need you and your voice for some of these because that would just be even funnier. He's like, okay, whatever, Mom. But he's been working so hard. He works and he's going to college right now. But if I could figure out how to do this, it would be great. Mr. Dayton Freight was waving at me. He's waving at me again. I came out of the rest area and he was coming up alongside me and waved at me. When I came out of there, I just passed him by again. He's waving at me again. Now he's flashing me over. Thank you, sir. I keep forgetting to give you guys updates on my carnivore deal here. That's because there hasn't been any carnivore deal. Oh my gosh. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Because my son was in town and I was so busy with, cleaning the house and trying to baby-proof things for the baby and, getting things ready. And we did a big cookout, so I had lots of cooking to do. And, I'm not going to subject everybody to what I'm doing. So, of course, I made all kinds of side dishes, and we had burgers and brats and hot dogs and stuff on the grill. And, people brought food and everything. It was a pretty big party. Big for me. I mean, there was maybe 20 people there, I think, maybe 20, 25, which it was fun. We had a good time. But I cannot have a party and not be able to eat the food, especially the food that I made myself. I had to taste test things and, all the things. So that was the last week in August when my son was here. And so carnivore kind of fell off the planet at that point, and up until yesterday I have not really stuck to it. I've had carnivore meals and I've tried to still watch what I'm eating, but I have had a few setbacks here and there. Last time I checked, when I was home last, I did not gain any of the weight back or anything, so that's good. It might show different when I get back tomorrow. we'll see, and I will let you know. But I got to get back on it because I was feeling great. Some of the things I've noticed being off of the carnivore diet is my joints are killing me. I'm in a lot of pain. My sleep is suffering. I've had insomnia again. I've had stomach aches. I almost thought I was going to have another kidney stone yesterday. Oh, I had the pain again, but it didn't last very long. So if it was a kidney stone, I hope it did its thing and got out of where it was hurting so bad, and it did it quickly. So that I was only suffering for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, and then it went away. But I got sick to my stomach like I did the first time. I was not feeling too hot there for about 45 minutes. I was like, oh, please don't let this be another day like that. That was horrible. I also noticed, probably one of the biggest things I noticed, is that the inflammation around my nose has gotten puffier again, like right under my eyes and around my nose, and I'm having trouble breathing. I've always been a mouth breather, I'm going to tell you that. And when I started eating non-carnivore food that week, I noticed little puffy pumps around my nose, and I also noticed that I was breathing through my mouth again, whereas before when I was on the carnivore, I was breathing through my nose and both nostrils were working, which most of my life, even if I was breathing out of my nose, I was only breathing out of one nostril. I always felt like I wasn't getting enough air. So I am pretty sure that the inflammation is in my face, which is also probably causing my migraines. And that is back now that I've not been on carnivore for 2 weeks now. So I need to get back to it because I felt really good. My joints were starting to feel good. I've had a few days where they were achy, and most of it had to do with the crappy weather, I'm assuming. I was thinking to myself, this is not worth it. This is definitely not worth it, going through all this and getting off the diet just for what? Just to eat whatever we want? So yeah, I'm not going to deprive myself on this, but I also don't want to suffer either. So I am getting back on it, and I will let you know how it goes. But it's definitely worth it to not have those things going on every day, and I kind of miss my carnivore meals. I haven't said, but I am on I-65 South in Indiana, south of Indianapolis. Everybody waving at me this morning. Good morning, FedEx. Still on 65 South. Coming up on mile marker 19. I got 15 more miles to go before my exit. somebody. I'm on 71 northbound now. Go ahead, bro. Is every road in America under construction? I mean, really, every road, every road. Oh my gosh. Ah. I'm on 71 northbound in Kentucky. I just left my delivery in Buckner, Kentucky. Well, not just. I left a little while ago, and then they called me and said, I hope you're not too far. We gave you the wrong paperwork. So I had to turn around. I was already on 71. I had to turn around and go back and get the right paperwork. Oh, well. I should have paid attention and made sure it was mine, but I did not. I grabbed it and I ran because I'm kind of in a hurry today, trying to get all this stuff done, so I don't run out of hours and then have to spend my 34-hour break out here, which would be fine, except it'll be cutting it so close that if I can't get all the way home, it'll just be like torture. So we'll figure something out. I hope the next place doesn't take too long. The next place I'm going to is where they load you up with a whole trailer full of glass bottles, and they're very, very heavy. So I hope I got my good mileage in this week. I had a couple of light loads. I had one heavier load that was the recycle plant. I had bales of recycled paper to take to that one paper mill, and that was pretty heavy, but I did okay for my fuel mileage on that one. I took it easy. I get pretty high on the list. We get a list twice a week of our fuel mileage for the last 7 days. I think it's a 7-day rolling fuel mileage sheet that all the drivers are on, and they put your numbers on there so everybody can see. But I usually get in the not only the green for fuel mileage, but also for my idle time, because I try not to idle as much as possible. I had to turn on the truck at this place because it got really hot in the truck, and I didn't want to open the windows because there was lots of bugs around. So I probably idled about 40 minutes, which is still, I don't like to do that. Maybe not even, maybe a half hour. Come on, bro. What are you doing? You gonna pass this guy, or you gonna hang out right here at 67 miles an hour in a 70, you turd? Let's go. Oh my word. Just gonna hang right there. He went flying by me, and now he's just gonna hang right there in the left lane. I gave him plenty of room if he wanted to get back over, but I'm gonna go behind him and let him know, let's go. My truck's gonna start beeping at me, watch. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Nothing like left lane Larry. Come on, bro. Everybody's going downhill. Ooh. Picking up speed down the hill. Not me, because I'm empty. Empty, empty. You guys, I can't believe it's almost winter. I mean, I know we still got to go through fall and all, but that goes fast. I'm not looking forward to driving in the snow and the ice. I don't like it. It's very pretty through here. me. I like Kentucky and Ohio. I don't know. This guy looks like he's moving awful slow up here, but there's a guy behind me trying to get around. Getting all antsy back there. Here he comes. Here comes Mr. Antsy. I gotta get going. I gotta get going. They're going back and forth between me and the other truck like one of us was going to move any faster. I was trying, bro. I was trying. It has turned out to be a beautiful day. It's, according to my truck, it's 77. Sun is mostly poking out. There's lots of clouds up there, but it's beautiful. A little bit of breeze. Miles to Cincinnati. 67 miles to where I get off at I-75. For those of you that haven't driven these newfangled trucks, I know some of my viewers are retired drivers and haven't been in a truck in a long time. If you haven't driven one of these newfangled crazy plastic trucks that have all of the bells and whistles, so to speak, or, well, that's what they are, bells and whistles, because they're constantly ringing at you and screaming at you, all these things. So one of the crazy things that this adaptive cruise control thing does is you can have your cruise control set on, say, 70, and you're driving along, nobody's behind you, you're doing 70, everything's great, right? And then you come up on a truck or a car or whatever, and they're going slower than 70, say they're going 68. Your adaptive cruise control will then adjust your speed to that person's speed. And now you're both cruising along at 68. And it'll tell you how fast they're going. That's my favorite part. I know I've said that before, but that is my favorite part. I like seeing how fast the people in front of me are going. The adaptive cruise control will slow you down far enough behind so you're, I can't remember how many seconds behind the car in front of you, the vehicle in front of you. Your cruise is still set at 70, but it has adjusted you. It has adjusted your speed to match their speed, which is kind of cool. But it's cool for when you fall in behind somebody else and you're just kind of cruising along following somebody, which I frequently do a lot. It helps with my fuel mileage. Set the cruise control and take a nap. Go back and make coffee. Just kidding, just kidding. Disclaimer, no, that does not happen. It shouldn't happen. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Did you guys hear about the person, I don't remember, male, female, no, I don't know who it was. Many years ago, they had gotten a mobile home or a camper or something, and Dude put it on cruise control and went in the back to make coffee and crashed. And then sued the company because it was nowhere in the manual, the owner's manual, that he couldn't get up and make coffee, and got like millions of dollars from that lawsuit and a brand new camper. What the heck? Like, what? Why? That's just wrong. Who doesn't know these things? Oh my gosh. Good on him, though, I suppose. He figured out the loophole to get himself some millions of dollars in a brand new camper. Cincinnati, 53 miles. Okay, this guy gonna slow down going up this hill? Maybe. Am I gonna go faster than him? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. Other cars behind me? Yes, I'll go get over. I'll get over there out of the way. They're only doing 68. So when you're in cruise control, the adaptive cruise control, you can pick up speed going downhill. Like if you're heavy, like there I just picked up to 75 miles an hour going down that hill, even though it's empty. But when you take it out of cruise control, your engine brakes will kick in then. So that's why when you're in the mountains or on hills like this, you know, you're going to want to take it out of cruise control when you're going down the hills. And when you're in the mountains, you really don't want cruise control on. You want to be able to control the truck yourself. Oh, I need to go get fuel. Let's go get fuel, everybody. Here we come, loves. All right, I got fuel. And we are headed out to Indiana. road, but I had to go down a red brick road, which was rather cool. It was very tiny, and college kids everywhere. And I'm just like, get me out of here in this big truck. There were truck signs like no engine brake and no trucks this way and no trucks that way, but the road I was on was 27 and it was a truck route. It just was a little tight and a little scary. It wasn't scary, it was more just nerve-wracking, that's all. Especially when there's people milling around all over the place, crossing the street, on the sidewalks, standing in the corners, and you gotta make tight turns like that. And I had to have a bus had to back up for me because I couldn't make the corner because she was up too far. She had to back up. It's just a little hairy sometimes. But I'm glad I moved my tandems all the way up at the last delivery. I don't normally, but I think from now on, if I'm going someplace I've never been before, or going to somewhere I've never taken that route, I think I'm going to make sure I move my tandems all the way up. And for situations like that, because that was crazy. Had I not had it moved all the way up, I'd have never made that corner. She would have had to back up like, I don't know, 15, 20 feet or more. And it wasn't practical for the winter, which around here it wasn't, but I drove it through the winter. I don't know how many years. It was awesome. I bought it brand new in 1988. Ordered it the way I wanted. T-tops. It was gorgeous.